Welcome to Bakke Graduate University. We've created this orientation video primarily to provide you as a new student with some resources we know will help you in your educational journey. Since BGU is such a global university with students and faculty from around the world, we wanted to be able to provide easy access to tools that are essential for a great learning experience. In this relatively short video, I will first help you to become familiar with the BGU website, how to register for a course, how to read a syllabus, and how to navigate through the various online resources. I'll also draw your attention to some of the items contained in the student catalog and student handbook that I think will be very helpful to you. I will also help you to understand your degree audit. By the way, I'm Judy Melton, the registrar for BGU. I'm also the director of the Magul degree, but probably you'll correspond with me to discuss academic issues, things like grades, transcripts, etc., and ultimately your graduation. I've been with BGU for almost 10 years as of the date of this recording, it's 2013, and as a graduate of both a master's and doctoral degree from BGU, I'm very familiar with the resources that I'm going to introduce you to today. Let's start with the website. I'm showing you this is a screenshot of my computer. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to point out some of the important places that you need to go in our website to be able to register for courses and find some resources. So let's start with the registration. And as you see, if you hover over the name course registration, it brings up a list of the various degrees, certificates, and the non-credit courses. So let's start with the Doctor of Ministry degree. So if you click on the degree, whatever degree you're in, it brings up a list of courses. First are listed the on-site courses. These are courses that are occurring in a city around the world. You can see our Community Development class in New Orleans, the Servant Leadership class that's in Nigeria, and then the Fresno courses, Manila, and Jamaica. If you scroll down, you can see some of the online courses. Here you have a list of all the courses that are being offered we try to have at least a year's worth of courses listed for you. And then below that you can see some directed and independent study materials, extensions, and the webinars. So let's go back up here and pretend that you're a Doctor of Ministry student and you want to register for the Overture 1 in Fresno. So if you click on that course, what it's going to do is bring you to a page that kind of gives a brief explanation about the course, provides you a place where you can click on to get the syllabus, and you can also get the course information sheet. Now the course information sheet is only for classes that are on site. In other words, this one's in Fresno. So here's a PDF of the course information sheet for the Fresno course that's being held in October of 2013. As you can see, this was updated on February 4th, 2013. Occasionally we will update that and put the date that we've updated it just in case there's new information, but we try to at least email that to the students who are registered in case there's other information that they need that's more current. So in this course information sheet, what you'll find out is, for example, what flights you need to take, what airport you need to land in, some just general information about the flight, give you a little bit of information about a travel agent. We also have information about the meeting times and place for the class. So that'll appear on the course information sheet. It also includes if you need a visa. It includes what the administrative fee covers, if it covers housing or not. It also shows information about the housing. In other words, this one you can stay in the Lowell neighborhood or you can stay in a hotel. So then it gives you information about the hotels. If we scroll a little further, you can see it has information about packing, what the temperature could be, the kind of money that you're going to need to have. If this is an international location, then it will tell you where to get your money exchanged, that kind of thing. Also will give you information about meals, about any first aid tips, and if there's internet going to be offered, so you know whether to bring your laptop or not. So that's the course information sheet, and if you are taking one of these on-site courses, it's a very good idea for you to make sure that you're familiar with what will be required of you. So let's go back into website. You'll see that you can also download a syllabus. I'm going to pull up for you what we call our online template. So this is what I use when I'm working with the professor to come up with a syllabus for the class. So as you can see, the places where I've got 3 asterisks means that's the information that changes on a regular basis depending on the class. So obviously the course number, the course title, course description, the professor of record, and then the dates when the course will run. So what I would like for you to be familiar with is the information that you have in here. There's my picture. There's other staff members and the people that help you with various things. For example, Natalia would help you with the online campus. Jennifer Roman is our librarian. She helps with finding online books and resources that you'll need for writing your papers. If you scroll down a little further, you'll see the desired learning outcomes. So what'll be here would be a list of the things that your professor expects for you to learn while you're in this class. This next section talks about BGU's 8 perspectives of transformational leadership. And these perspectives are items that you're going to need to be familiar with by the time you finish your degree. You may not learn everything, all of these in one class, although they are reviewed in usually your orientation class. For example, the Overture 1 class goes through every single one of these, as well as the Foundations of Global Urban Leadership class. So they will have a description of each one of these in more detail. But if you, for example, take the Servant Leadership class, obviously that's going to focus on that one perspective of transformational leadership. The course expectations, most always you're going to have to read half of the required reading, and this gives you how many pages are required depending on the number of credits that you're taking and whether you're taking at a master's or a doctoral level. The online participation, you'll see, counts for 20% of your grade, so you want to make sure that when you're in your online class that you are participating on a regular basis, because you will be graded down if you don't participate. In this section, you'll see the book report requirements, which is 15% of your grade. It shows you if you're taking it for, say, this is a master's level, 3 credits would be 1,200 pages. If you're taking it for 6 credits, it would be 2,400 pages. Some professors require book reviews on all of the books, and some only require them on 2 or 3 books. As you can see, here's where you'd find out how many book reports you need to submit. And right here, if you're only doing the 3 and they're required in the online classroom, that's where you'll see the due dates for that. The book reviews, please read this portion very carefully, because you will be graded down if you do not write your book reviews exactly as this appears right here. And the thing that you need to keep into consideration is the first paragraph states the author's intent in just 100 words. In other words, when it says 300 words max, 100 words max, that's what your professor wants. They do not want to get a book review that's 50 pages long when we just want to see that you understood the book, that you read the book, and that you interacted with the book in the second paragraph. And then in the final paragraph is the application. One of the things that you need to keep in mind about BGU is there are 3 aspects to everything you do. Part of it is processing. In other words, you're going to process what you've learned. Now let's talk about the reflection journal. The reason that we have a reflection journal on every class is that reflective leadership is part of the 8 perspectives of transformational leadership. So here you see reflective leadership, and we learn that if a student journals, interacts in this way during the class, it really helps you to be able to apply what you're learning on a practical basis when you're reflecting on it. So this is a requirement for almost all of our classes. You just do 2 pages, and it's got 3 sections. Again, you're going to give a description of what the day was like, what you heard, and it's not your class notes. It's just what you've read, what you've heard that day or that week, and kind of just interacting with it. Then on the second paragraph, you're going to evaluate what was said, and the third paragraph, you're going to apply what you've learned. And this is very important, again, just like in the book reviews where you're giving a description, analyzing and evaluating, and then you're going to apply what you've learned to your context. The group project obviously changes by course. It'll be described here in this section. There's a group project and an individual project generally in every online class, but that will be up to your professor. The self-evaluation it's not graded, but it's just a way for you to look back and evaluate how you feel you did during that class. And then this section right here provides you with kind of a summary of what is required for this class. I will show you when we go a little bit further into the website how to find the paper templates so that you will be able to write a paper that can be an A paper. So here's your grading percentages. So in other words, it's a summary of what was above here, but your online participation 20%, book reviews 15%, etc. Then down here it gives you the grading scale. So it shows you that if you have between a 100 and a 98%, it's a 4.0 and it's an A+. So here you're going to have a list of your required reading. Usually what the professor does is provides a list in this section that is about 75% of the total number of pages that need to be read. And then you fill up the remainder of whatever the total number is that you're supposed to read. For example, if you had to read 1,200 pages, the professor might have given you 800, 900 pages in this section. And then in the recommended list, you would have other books that you can draw from, and you can pick any of those books to fill in the remaining 200 or 300 pages of reading that you need to do. So down here it's going to give you your due date for your project, and how you do that is to drop it in the online classroom and email it to me at homework@bgu.edu. I also wanted to draw your attention, a lot of people miss this. If you're interested in having a permanent bound record, we do allow you to do that. You can include photographs and all kinds of stuff in there if you want, and the cost is just $15 per book, and it's a hardbound book, and it's a really nice keepsake. Okay, so we're finished with the syllabus. Let's go back to the website. So if you're registering for a course, you just click on that and add it to your cart, and away you go. And it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what you are to provide for that. So let's go to the Student Information tab, and this is where you're going to find a lot of the resources that you may need to find. The first one is going to take you to the online campus. So let's click on the online campus, and what that does is bring you to the Moodle classroom. And when you register for a class, you will be in your registration, you'll have a username and a password. Well, that username and password is what you would use here in the online classroom when your class begins. And I'm going to just show you a little bit about the online classroom and finding your class. So if you're in the home page, you're going to see a list of the courses that are available. And if you scroll down and look for your particular degree, if you click on that degree, it'll bring up the courses that are being offered for that degree. So here you'll see a list of all the courses that are going on right now or had just been taking place in April, and it gives a brief description. And then if you go into that class, you'll see that it's broken up into the weeks. So if I scroll down, you'll see this gives you the professor and the different weeks that you are participating. And generally you're only going to have the week that you are required to be in, and they'll open up those weeks as they go by. So here's week 1, and what's really unique about BGU's online classroom is that we have an online chapel. We have special prayer requests. We always, in week 1, you meet your classmates, so you're able to interact with them, get to know them a little bit better. Any reading or discussion groups that you need to be participating in. And there's an Ask Your Professor section so that you can immediately communicate with your professor. They usually respond within 24 to 38 hours. And then there's a water cooler for students. If you just want to chat about something that's not related to the class, you can enter into the water cooler. So this is what our online classroom looks like, and you also will be given, when it's your first class, you're given an opportunity to take a brief orientation just like this to get to know how to use the online classroom. So going back into our BGU website, and we go back to the student resources, we've got the academic calendar. So here you can click on this to find out what the dates are that our offices are closed or when the terms start. So you can see here the fall term starts September 1st and goes through December 31st. The winter term goes from January 1st to March. So you can see the holidays and all that right there, which is very handy. And then we also have the current student catalog. So let's go over the catalog briefly for you. So this is our BGU catalog, and I know it's quite large. It's at this printing, it's 148 pages, which is quite large, and you're not going to want to read this cover to cover, obviously. But I wanted to point out some resources that are in here that you may want to be able to access. It would be important as a new student to read the mission statement, the vision and values of BGU, objectives, and our educational values. Obviously, these are very important and important for you to know. We also have our standard of conduct, special needs policy, accreditation. All these things are just information for you to access if and when you need them. It also talks about full-time status, part-time status. A lot of people always questioning, what's full-time? What do I have to do to be full-time? It also gives information about the special student status, also gives transfer credit information, if you want to withdraw, just anything, any information that you need about just general. This one also gives you the fees, the tuition and fees that are that you'll be responsible for, some information about financial aid, information about student services, and then we come down to the academic policies, how to withdraw from a course, grading factors, a lot of information here that if you just briefly go through, you should be able to find answers to many, many questions. Then we also have in here all the information about each one of the degrees. So here's the MACE degree information, the description, the outcomes, the specific admission requirements, the curriculum, and then the courses. So let's scroll down to the Doctor of Ministry degree just to give you a brief overview of the kind of information you'll find out about each one of the degrees. You'll get a program description, and then this one lists the different concentrations or focuses of the degree. It also gives you the program outcomes, the desired outcomes for the degree, gives you information about extended DMin, gives you information about the degree requirements, about the dissertation, and then here's the curriculum. So each one of the degrees is going to spell out your curriculum, similar to the program worksheet you got when you were entered into BGU. And then it talks about the specific focuses. And if we go down further, you'll see a list of brief descriptions about each one of the courses. So these descriptions are generally the same description that you're going to see in the syllabus. Here's another page that you might find useful, and that is the BGU staff page. And what this provides you with is the name, a photo, what the title of the professor or the staff member is, their email address, phone number, Skype, and frequently asked questions. So if, for example, if you had a question about counseling, you would talk with Lowell Bakke. If you had a question about the Moodle classroom, you would contact Nathalia Barrows. If you had a question about finances and payments, it would be Carolyn Cochran. So you can see that this sheet becomes a very helpful page for you, and this is page 30 in the current catalog, but that could change from year to year. So let's go back to our website, and you'll see right below the catalog is a link to forms and documents, and this is going to be one of your very, very helpful places to go when you need some, well, various forms and documents. So as you can see, there's things like a change of directory, if you need a transcript from BGU, if you need the master's thesis option. Here's the doctoral final project handbook, an independent study packet if you wanted to do an independent study. Here's the dissertation template, the final project proposal template, a grade summary form, the academic catalog. So you've got all kinds of documents here that you're going to find very, very helpful. People find this very helpful, and these are our paper templates. This one is for the Turabian formatting. This one is for APA formatting. And what I've done is I've given you some just clues. Okay, so what I've done is created a paper template. So all you have to do, for example, is double click and in the title and put your title right there. Go back into the document, put your title right here, put your name right here. So all you have to do is fill it in, whatever it says, you fill in your information in here. Here's the abstract, and then I give you a brief description of what should be appearing in the abstract. So I hope you find this helpful. A lot of students have said it's very helpful for them, but when you're writing your paper, pull up one of these templates, save it, and just keep reusing it. And I'm telling you, it's very, very helpful. So go back in here. The other document that's in here, besides the extensions, we'll talk about that in a minute, is the student handbook. Let's just take a brief look at the student handbook. A lot of people don't realize that this document is available for them. But what I did was wrote this up so that if you have questions about your paper, here is a brief outline of what's involved in doing a book report, what's involved in doing a journal. So it gives you specifics about those different aspects of writing. So let's scroll down, and let's say you wanted to do some research. And I've given you some information in this document about research, but I've also created an instructional video similar to the one you're listening to now that goes into more detail about the research. So if you'd like to access these documents, you just click on the media file, and it's very, very explanatory about what you do with different aspects of your writing. So let's say you're ready to start writing your project, and you refer to the student handbook and see, oh, there's another link to the Turabian paper template. This link is very helpful if you're not sure what it means to write a Turabian style or APA. There's another instructional video about APA. So be sure to access these videos if you do not know how to write your project, you're having trouble with, say, the table of contents. See, we've got a table of contents instructions here, but I also have a video that actually does a screen capture, again showing exactly how to do some of these things. Anyway, I wanted you to know that this is available for you. It's a very helpful tool, and I hope that you'll use it if you need it. Back to our forms and documents, I wanted to draw your attention to the request for extension form. If you are unable to complete your project within the allotted time, the due date, then you'll need to get an extension. And BGU's policy is you can have up to 3 months of extensions at a cost of $100 per month. But you need to use this form that you access right there from our website. You fill in your name, the date of the request, your course title, date of the course, the date the course was due, how many months extension you need, and then give a brief description of what it is that what happened that caused you to not be able to get your work done, and submit this to homework@bgu.edu. And generally speaking, we'll approve that, but if you need more than the 90 days, you would need to get special permission from the Academic Affairs Committee, and that request form is also on the website right here, request for special extension. So just keep those in mind. Also here we have the final project handbook and the dissertation proposal template again provided for you. One of the unique aspects of BGU is the wide range of countries from which our students come. This lends itself to some lively discussions and unique insight during classes. Students have often commented about how much the cultural differences can enhance their understanding of what it really means to be global. However, a few years ago, one of our Seattle Overture courses, those cultural differences became an issue. One student treated another with prejudice and disdain. It was a painful moment for many of us. I want to conclude this short video by reminding you about the importance of treating others with respect when you're in the classroom. Honor other cultures and denominations. BGU is a non-denominational school intentionally. BGU accepts students from around the globe intentionally. But you'll only be able to benefit from this experience if you don't have a chip on your shoulder or come with prejudices. Beloved, let us love one another. The next videos that are required in this orientation will be two that are going to be really helpful for you. One is, I think I mentioned before, the Randy White video about the 8 perspectives of transformational leadership. The other one will be how to write an A paper. The other instructional videos that have been made available to you are optional resources we encourage you to watch if you're not familiar with the content, as mentioned before. So goodbye for now. I hope you found this orientation helpful as you embark on your educational career with BGU. May God richly bless you.